Hi everybody, it's Jeannie from Gardening Jones. I want to talk to you today a little bit about growing potatoes. I'm going to apologize right off the bat. Since COVID hit, there's been a lot of traffic in this area, so there'll be a lot of editing in this video. Here comes some now. Potatoes are one of those vegetables that you can grow and never have to buy again. You can keep potatoes that are left over, grow them the next year. So you can grow potatoes for life, depending on your zone, of course. We're on the borders of 5 and 6 here, 5B, 6A, whatever, in Northeast PA, but we don't buy potatoes anymore. We grow enough for us for year-round and to start the next year. So let me get to it. Here are 2 potatoes left from last year. They were kind of small, as you can see, shriveled up, and they're starting to grow. Everything in this bed is from potatoes left from last year. All I did, simply dig a hole, put the potato in. I'm going to put in a couple more. It's a little bit late in the season. It's the second week of June, June 19th. But that's it. You just dig a hole. I should have brought my spade with me. Put in the potato. That's it. I'll leave it open a little bit so it gets some rain. These other potatoes, you see white in them, that's DE. That's because they're getting eaten by little bugs. But the DE will get rid of the bugs and it won't hurt the potatoes. It's completely natural. As the potatoes grow, we add straw or hay to make sure that none of the potatoes themselves are exposed to sunlight. That's what turns them green and makes them edible. Over here, you can see some purple flowers. That means they're producing potatoes. Not all kinds of potatoes get flowers. Some get white flowers, some don't get flowers at all. But if you see flowers, you actually could reach in there and grab a little tiny potato. I don't like to do that. I like to let them go as long as possible. Sometimes I'll grab a few early, maybe for 4th of July weekends, probably Labor Day. We'll grab them to roast them on the grill. But this is what they look like. This is just an old, like a walk backwards. This is an old water feature that we were no longer using, so we drilled some holes in the bottom and along the side a couple inches up for drainage. I planted 2 pounds of potatoes that were left over. That should get me about, I think last year we got 16 pounds per pound, but even at 12 it'd be 24 pounds of potatoes. For us that's enough. We still have some. It's so much last year. It's a long story. We got more than we wanted. Also COVID-related mistake, but we still have some canned. Canned potatoes are not good for mashed potatoes, but they're fine for something like home fries. They work really well, actually, for home fries. Let me show you another section here. The garden is in its very early stages right now, as you can see. I think the weeds are doing better than the plants. These are our tomatoes, and I will talk a little bit about this structure in another video. But if you come over here, you'll see some potatoes. I did not plant these potatoes. They are also beginning to flower. These came up by themselves. It's almost impossible to get all the potatoes out of the ground, or it is for me anyway. And again, here is some more potatoes. There's also beets and some radishes and some weeds coming up here, but again, volunteer potatoes. We have a closet we built as a cold holding closet. I'll put a link to that blog post as well that talks about how to do that. In case you're interested, we don't have a basement, so we can't put them down in the basement, but anywhere cool and dark. It's not real damp. And you'll see they'll start to sprout, like I said, like this one. This is actually, we had so many left that we didn't need to go for the really tiny ones. But not to let anything go to waste. Going to dig another hole there, stick it so the shoots are shooting up. There we go. It's supposed to rain today, so it'll be good to go. And that'll be another couple potatoes. And talking about volunteers, and excuse the weeds, but I don't have a staff of 20 people to keep this in shape for me, myself and my husband. We have some volunteers in this tomato bed. There's one right there, and there are 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 there. Some sort of cucurbit, I believe, possibly a pumpkin, possibly a zucchini, though the leaves are kind of big. I'm guessing probably pumpkin. And so we're starting to get some flowers I see on one. They're probably, since they all came up together, I'm sure they're from the compost that we put in the garden, but they're probably the same thing. Anyway, so there's some of our volunteer potatoes, volunteer squash of some sort. It's possible it's melon, but we don't eat much melon, so it's more likely a pumpkin that we had that grew out of the compost bin and got eaten by some animals in the compost bin, so it stayed there. It lived its whole life in the compost bin. It looks like it's made it to the big world this year. Talk to you soon. Happy gardening.